Good lad. Big happy dog. Lead off.
Good boys, wait.
Wait. I know. Wait. Are we ready?
Yep.
Go!
Well, now you see I'm very confused.
Why are you confused?
Well, Sammy and Marty, guide dog Sammy and Marty during lockdown, they're running about having fun. They don't seem unhappy, anxious, or...
Miserable?
Yeah. So, but The Guardian said that that's how they were faring during lockdown.
The Guardian did say that. So we'll let you decide whether that's true. Today guys, we're using the GoPro. We're both cameraed up, we're both rigged up with sound, and we thought we'd take you on the journey.
Yeah, so let's take a look at some of the kit then, guys. On each of our chests, we've got a GoPro strapped here, and I'm quite bulky because I've got all sorts of gear. We've got a microphone on each here, which is running into this nice sound bag. So hopefully it's going to sync up nicely later. And we're going to take you via this little park for a run for the dogs. We're going to take you into town because we need to get some essential bits from Wilco, right?
Yes, that's true.
Awesome. So we'll hopefully cut between the cameras. Let's give it a go, shall we?
Let's give it a go.
Forward.
Good boy, we're straight.
Good boy.
Good boy, straight to the crossing.
Yay!
Marty's definitely too eager.
Well, they're both excited.
Ooh.
And happy.
Plenty.
And this is, we're going to a shop to get some essential shopping. Good lads.
To the curb.
But we'd practice routes for exercise
Excellent.
anyway. Good boy. Yay.
Wait.
Hi from me in the future. Siobhan's currently watching the video that's going up later, but I need to point out you're going to hear a little bit of staticky sound on tonight's audio, and the reason for that is really, really simple. It's my fault for a start, so Siobhan will be happy to know that. But what we've got in the sound bag is we've got an antenna on the microphone kits, and I thought I'd be okay folding them underneath rather than leaving them poking out, okay? You can't do that, it's interfering. So if you hear the occasional bit of static, my fault. Back to the video. Should we get back to the video?
Yeah.
Sammy is a stander at curbs. Good boy.
And Marty is a sitter.
And the reason for that is because we regularly work in central London, and in normal times it's busy, so his tail wouldn't get stood on so much. Forward.
Forward.
Good boy. Now they're going to anticipate in a minute because we always go, when we cross here, down towards an alleyway. So the dogs are really being quite clever, and they are anticipating. It's because normally we'd ask the dog for our benefit and we're in control. Good boy.
Steady. Still very, very keen, aren't you, Marty? Marty is still very excited, hence the reason I've got a lead, just gently encouraging him to steady. He's very, very keen on work, so the drive and the tension in the harness is quite strong, but we can work with that, and we do work with that. He's very waggly at the moment, his tail, and yeah, we're just going straight. Good boy, straight
And
on.
Sammy's following with plenty of enthusiasm and happiness. Now I can feel Sammy's tail wagging.
Good boy.
Can you feel Marty's?
I can on the back of my leg from time to time.
And what circumstances would you say that a guide dog would wag their tail, or any dog? Good
When
boy.
they're happy.
When they're happy and enthused and so forth.
When
Good boy.
they're
Because it's a bit like a game
willing
to them,
work.
isn't it?
It is.
And every guide dog owner that I know of
Good boy.
would, I mean, unless someone's shielding, that might be different. In the UK we have pretty tight, at least in England, but all of the UK at the minute, we have pretty tight lockdown restrictions. Good boy.
Straight on.
But we should
Boy.
have enough route, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
To practice.
Yeah.
So can you give some examples of some routes that you might do to keep your dog happy and enthusiastic?
The main routes that I generally do is I do a block walk around my neighbourhood.
When you say a block walk, you mean literally just a circular walk?
Just a circular walk from my house all the way around the block to keep him excited, to keep him enthusiastic. I do that either in the daylight or at night time, because there are different sorts of things that the dog will look out for and different smells depending on how light or dark it is. This one is another route that I like to do because it's quite a simple route, not
Good
too
boy.
many people about, and I always try, where possible, to come when it's probably going to be a little bit quieter. If, for example, I'm going into a supermarket to get some bare essentials.
So I'm
I
going to
picked
chuck
that
in
time.
some examples of some routes we might do. We might go to shops as we are today.
Yeah.
We might go to the bank if that's necessary. Chemists is one I would do.
Oh, doctors.
Train station, you can even practice the routes. So broadly speaking, and it's very much becoming an international thing, good lad.
Good boy.
You know, every
Steady.
case is individual, but broadly speaking, guide dog users should have at least 3 routes of about 40 minutes that they can regularly do, right? It's something like that,
On a
isn't it?
daily basis, yeah.
Good boy.
Good
By the
boy.
way.
Now he's indicating
Good lad.
round.
We'll
a
come
bit.
on to social
Good
distancing.
boy.
Yay! Because that is a challenge. Praise for the
Excellent.
dog.
Good
Going to give him a treat. Because what's in
boy.
it for the dog if he doesn't get a treat?
Good boy.
Okay, we're going to hang here a minute because we're hearing to the left. Just children having fun, but it does mean that there's a diesel engine over to the left-hand side. It's hard to judge. I can hear it's pretty clear
Travel
right.
to the right.
Are you happy?
Yes, I'm happy. Oh,
Forward.
forward.
Good boy.
Oh,
Right,
fine.
Sammy's pulling
Marty,
left a bit, so I
straight
think he's got an obstruction there that he's moving
boy.
around. Has Marty gone right?
Steady he has.
Good lad. Probably a
Good
skip or a
boy,
car.
Marty.
Good boy.
Right.
Now, there's plenty of drive, which means tension
Oh,
on the
yes.
harness. It means he's enthusiastic and we're practicing our route.
Marty is pulling
Straight
quite a
on.
bit.
Good boy. This place down here, it's called Middle Row.
Steady.
Good.
Steady.
Good boys.
I think he
So Sammy's nice and
is
central.
mistaken because I know he wants to go to another place where we free run the
Boy.
dogs.
Okay.
As you can hear, he's
Here we're
really,
going to stand. Yeah, we'll
no.
explain that. Good boy. I
That-
think it will be.
He's kind of indicating with his head to the right a bit.
Yeah, because up in this direction roughly, we would go to a
That way.
great big
right.
place called Conquer Avenue.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do that today. The high street sounds quite quiet.
It does,
we're a
which is good for
Saturday, which is
Saturday,
good.
yeah.
I'd like to think town would be
Wait.
quieter, but we're forced to go here because we run out of cleaning gear. Right, 1 second.
Let
Wait.
me know when you are ready.
I'm not. He thinks he's turning.
Yeah.
So I'm going to. Good boy. Wait. I'm going to move across his body position and do a forward left. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Left.
Left.
Oh, good
Aw.
boy. No,
I'm hearing his
up,
mind
up.
going,
Yeah,
"Aw."
he's straight on. So Sammy, for a second, it felt like he wasn't moving his body position. Good boy. Let's try and move the angle of this down a bit. Good boy. It's almost like he was walking backwards a bit. Now the drive, the tension, enthusiasm dropped just slightly on the harness.
Not for Marty.
No, not much. He's now picked back up.
Marty's very excited.
Steady. He's sort of on your tail. Good
Steady.
boy. Fun away.
Good boy. Straight
But they're pretty good at stopping for each other.
Good
Good boy. Okay, not today. Straight on.
Straight
He's
on.
slightly wondering.
Good boy, straight on. So now we're actually in the old town and it's a straight line. The dog's going to be working out where people are coming from, any overhanging obstacles or street furniture as we call them, whether it's tables and things like that. Not that I think there are at the moment because obviously we're in lockdown in England, but the drive on Marty is still very, very strong.
Straight on. Sammy now in front.
Steady.
Good boy. And Siobhan's camera should be seeing us walk from behind. Straight on. So he's showing caution there. Good boy. And he's very much stuck over to the left-hand side.
Marty's trying to overtake.
Yeah, understandably. But so in an ideal world, I know in the UK for many years there's been a preference to train the dogs to walk centrally in the pavement. Internationally, that's not the case. So there'll be guide dogs mobility instructors. In the UK, now referred to as GDMS, guide dogs mobility specialist, but it's the same qualification, same job. So Sammy's kind of over to the left here, which he's not always, but I'm comfortable with that. Good boy, because it means we're less likely to come within 2 metres of people, well, at least as far as we can control.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Good boy. And Marty's
Good
just
lad.
stopped very positively at the curb, which is fantastic. And there he is sitting down patiently waiting.
I'm going
my
to take it
command.
from here. Forward.
Forward.
And Sammy's going to be slightly ahead here, I hope, or not. Right, there's quite a loud exhaust there, but the dogs aren't fazed by that.
Find the crossing. Find the crossing. Excellent.
Good
Just gonna give
boy.
Marty a little
Okay,
fix.
over here we have to be careful because over to our right hand side their vehicles come from all sorts of directions. People running about. This can be really quiet and easy to cross, or it can be a nightmare. Okay, we've got a vehicle like into the right, it's obviously going to come forward. Okay. We try not to cross in front of engines where possible. Forward!
Forward. Steady to the centre.
And I gave that command.
Steady to the centre.
Good boy.
Steady to the
Now traffic
centre.
here can only come from our left and that sounds clear. So forward.
Forward.
I gave that F command straight on a minute ago because I judged that it was safe. And you obviously agreed with that, Siobhan, didn't you? Because we went at the same time.
Yes, I did.
Good
Naughty
doggies. Now,
steady.
I'm going to try and talk a little bit about the positioning. So I'm going to try and angle the camera down. It'll be unflattering because you'll get the jacket that's got all sorts of sound gear in it. But hopefully you can see our feet position down below. So broadly speaking, I've got the thumb of my left hand equal to the seam on my trouser, which I think gives the best guide, but there'll be people who disagree with that. Yes. Good lad, yay! Now, do you know when you're working your dog, not just Marty, but previous dogs, do you also have your thumb near the seam of the trouser, or do you prefer another feeling?
No, I've always found that to be the most comfortable and best position in terms of feeling where the dog is and what the dog's doing.
I agree, and it gives you the chance, doesn't it, to decide whether you're going to drop back or move forward.
Yeah.
But I was in the Netherlands and somebody said, oh no, you're too far back on your dog. And again, that's fine, they've got shorter harness handles, so they're not wrong and I'm not right. I am right. No, I'm not necessarily right, joking aside. No.
No, it depends on
training and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's slightly different. But I got called a dinosaur by a very good friend of mine who is a GDMI, formerly of the UK. It's in the UK again now, actually. Yeah. But in reality, it's just what works for the guide dog owner and what's safe. Okay. So, it's number one position with the feet. Let me try and show this. So, number one position. Now, in Marty's case, he's sitting. In Sammy's case, he's standing. Number one is 2 feet both together. Number two positions, you move that foot back. I'll be honest with you.
Foot back,
I'll be honest with you. Yeah, that's right, my right foot back. Nearly 22 years in, 21 and a half years in, I don't think that's that important as long as you're there safe. I do it, and I've always done it. Yeah. And I'd recommend that guide dog users do it, but that's just me, right? What's safe is safe.
But I always...
Okay, can you hear that?
Yeah.
Dog behind, I think, so we're going to give the command forward.
Forward.
Good boy.
Straight on.
Good boy. Now, Sammy's moved off quite slowly there, but that's fine because it's a road. Good boy. Straight on. This is called the Sish Lane Underpass. And interestingly, good boy, particularly for long cane users, and we do use long canes as well. I try and do it to extend Sammy's working life for local routes sometimes if we've had a busy day or week. There's a raised white line here. I'm not likely to touch it because the dogs won't go to it, but with the cane you can feel it. When they replaced the pavement that was here, so you knew when you're on the pedestrian bit, they just painted a line, didn't they, Siobhan, rather than making it tactile?
Yes, they did, which obviously is not going to help someone who does use a long cane. Such
as us when we were...
Yes, that's true.
You know, when we were doing that, and we were getting abused by some cyclists, a minority, but there are a lot of a minority. Good boy, find the way. And as we approach up here, this is my doctor's, so if you haven't already got personal data, I'm giving you everything you need to know. Good boys. Forward. Forward. Over the bridge. Straight. Yeah. Okay, Stevenage Old Town now. We are straight on, not today.
Not today.
Straight on, not today. They want to go through the park, they can't. We're approaching Ditchmore Lane. In fact, we're probably on Ditchmore Lane. Or we will be in a minute. Good boy. And this is one of the main hubs into the new town from the old town. I'm not saying that it's Henlow or anything, but the old town I prefer to the new town in terms of volume of people and stuff.
Good boy.
Good boy, straight on.
So there are many good advantages actually to working around here, because we could use many different routes to get to the old town or the new town, so it's quite varied for the dog, which I think is great. Don't you?
I do. Hey, would people be interested in, firstly subscribing, please do that, but would you be interested in seeing more of these walks? And when we're not in lockdown, we might be able to do a really flash version of this, which would involve setting up an extra camera and walking past it and cutting it in and all sorts of complicated things. But for now, we can't do anything. Yeah, well, we can't do anything. Look, within the spirit of it, if not the letter of it, we cannot do anything with the camera kit that adds any time or function to our walk outside. It's not quite explicit that, but I don't think it's in the spirit of the law to start setting up cameras and tripods and messing about, because I would say that's being out unnecessarily. What do you reckon?
I actually agree with you, and that's the first time I agree with you. I'm joking, but I take the point. I just think we don't need to be hanging around more.
But this doesn't stop us, because there is some setup to it. We did it in the house.
We did.
Good boy.
People in front.
So what's all this then, this notion that guide dogs aren't getting out and getting routes?
I think it was, well, it was written by a journalist in America, so there was just a couple of anecdotal stories.
But I don't criticise that. Molly's a great YouTuber, and that's almost certainly her experience.
And there's nothing, I personally didn't think there was anything wrong with what the journalist had written.
No, definitely not.
But I have to admit, it didn't reflect my experience.
And many other people around the country or around the world. So.
And I had somebody suggesting it was cruel to work our depressed guide dogs during lockdown because they'd read this piece in The Guardian, and that did upset me for the simple reason that, do these look upset?
Yeah, and you know.
And there's already enough negative stereotypes. Good boy. And I know myself, okay, it's really easy for media as a whole, I won't say for who, some people probably work out who, but I do work in media on a reasonably, well, I mean, it's my full-time job, but I do it at a reasonably high level, I would like to think. And we've got to be careful that we're not taking one person's experience and saying this is what it's like for, you know, X group of people, blind people, deaf people, people with low vision, wheelchair users. Good boy. And certainly if we're going to make a sweeping statement, research it. And again, headlines, not the journalist.
Yeah, that's
research it a little bit. Good boy.
Good boy. Straight on.
Right, so we are now. Oh.
Straight on. Good boy.
We're now on what's known as the Tesco Bridge, aren't we?
We are.
Do you want to do some commentary?
Yep, straight on. So we're making our way down towards the new town now. So we're very close, and Marty is still sticking to the left. The drive is
Stay with us as well, by the way, if you're, because we've got another few minutes on this route.
Fine left. Good boy. Fine left.
Good boy.
Good boy. Straight on.
Yay! Oh, that's disorientating actually.
So he's sticking to the left, and we're working our way nicely down.
We've got a few minutes left on this route. If you want to support the content, give it a subscribe and a like and all that stuff. Good boy.
Good boy. Find the way. Yeah.
On the way.
Good lad. Straight on. Good boy.
I know. Okay, won't stand. You carry on. I'm going to reward him in a minute.
Straight
Good
on.
boy.
Good
Giving
boy.
him a break off,
Straight on.
Forward.
So encouraging him right down. No. Straight on. Forward.
Right, we're up towards Tesco now. Oh, now, Donna, can I suggest an in command? Do you remember, because we've got caught in the barriers at the end before?
Okay, good boy.
Good boy, okay, oh, straight on.
Straight on,
Up.
good boy.
Okay, he normally likes to stick to the left, but when we've done that, we've ended up getting caught in barriers that goes in towards Tesco. Hop up.
Good boy, steady, Marty.
Not today, straight on.
Not today,
Good boy.
on.
Right, his drive's dropped right off here. Good boy, I think it's because he wants to get over. Straight on.
Good
Stand.
boy.
I'm gonna, good boy, all right, treaty.
Away.
No, I'm gonna,
Oh.
Good boy. Okay. Forward, it is quite busy.
Forward. Good lad, steady.
Straight on. So we actually don't often walk this way with them, but we wanted to show you a little bit of a route through the old town into town. Good boy. This is probably one of about 6 or 7 we're regularly doing to shake it up a bit. Find the way, Sammy.
Find the way, Marty.
I've moved over to the left, but sorry, we're not trying to get into a queue here, guys. So the dogs are trying to find their way around.
Way round.
Oh, sorry. Find the town.
Find
Straight
the way,
on.
darling.
Straight
Find
on.
the way.
Okay.
Good boy. Thank you.
Find the way.
Find the
Good
way.
boy. Find the way. Good boy.
Find the way,
hang on a
darling.
sec. Good boy. Find the way.
Find the way.
Hang on a sec. How do we get round?
Find the way. Find the way.
Hi, is there anyone who could actually help us here? Sorry, we're trying to get into town.
Oh, you want to go to town?
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right, you're just coming to the Tesco's bit.
How do we get round this? Because this is, sorry.
No, it's because the barriers are there.
Yeah, okay, one sec. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much for your
Good
help.
boy.
Appreciate it.
Straight
Take
on.
care. Find the
Right,
way,
we're going to come into the right a minute. Yay!
Give him a little treaty.
Yay. That was a stressful situation with the dogs, but they don't seem very stressed or anxious either.
No, not for very long.
That barrier has been moved over to the side, I think, because normally they go around the side of it,
Yes, they do.
which is sort of understandable, but that's a really good example of lockdown difficulty for someone who's blind or low vision, is because that's obviously, sorry, forgive us.
They're both working.
Yeah,
Sorry,
really good, you
no,
good?
Leave it. It's a good boy.
Busy? So that's a really good example, isn't it, as we were just saying. Sorry. It's a really good example. Sorry, I didn't mean to be antisocial there,
Sorry,
we're just
thank you.
recording. Thanks.
Leave it. Good boy.
So actually, let's address that.
Yeah.
I think that's always really difficult. We'll come back to the barriers, because obviously they're working guide dogs, but I don't ever want to snap at anybody or whatever.
That's. I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, at the moment, obviously, with with
COVID-19 is another element.
Yeah.
Because there was no social distancing involved.
No, but
But he's a
in
really
other
nice guy.
times- Yeah, exactly. So if people want to come up and say hello, ask the person first.
Yeah, because
Never go up
actually
and
what
disrupt
happened
the dog.
there, and I'm not sure that the camera caught it, is I was saying, I was talking, and what happened was, oh sorry, ignore that. what happened was he said good boys, and I don't know about Marty, but Sammy went over to say hello.
Yeah, Marty wanted to
which
as well.
which can be dangerous. It wasn't there actually, but it can be dangerous. Right, the barriers then. So this is a really good example for people with blind and low vision where we struggled during COVID-19 because they've shifted the barriers over. I'm assuming that people would walk then into the, to seem a fair assessment to you, into the car park rather than having a walkway through.
Yeah.
And again, from their perspective, totally understandable, but it's a really good example of something that people would ordinarily walk through, and if you can't see it, then we don't know when we get caught in the middle of it.
Not just that, I think it's when it moves as well, because they do often move it a little bit.
Oh
so
yeah,
the
they keep
barriers
changing
can
it, yeah.
change. Yeah, so you never know from one day to the next.
So we've not been into this supermarket. You went in once actually for some sighted assistance. I've not been in since February.
Yeah, nearly a year ago.
Yeah, we're going to the smaller ones to get help there.
Or online shopping.
Okay, so let's just talk about this route that we're about to do here. Subscribe and like, by the way, if you want to support the content. For anybody who's interested, I'm a Footy Nut guy. Tell us, Footy Nut guy, which microphone do you prefer? Who's the better quality microphone? You say something?
Hi, hope you're well.
And this is my one as well. And I'd be really interested to know whether you can hear a difference between the two. Let us know. We're running into a sound bag here and wirelessly recording, but we're going to be going straight line into town, up past, I want to say the old Virgin shop, that shop shut 15 years ago, but to the very end, chuck a right.
Marty Hill.
So, are you ready?
I'm just going to get the dog in position. Martin.
Do you want to go first, or?
I don't mind, we can walk together.
3, 2, 1, forward!
Straight.
Good
boy.
Hey, so
Martin's just moving over to the right.
Sammy's moving over to the left.
Straight on.
Chalk and cheese.
Actually, Martin's probably going to be following him.
Sammy's a left biased dog, and it's, I'll be honest with you, I don't have a problem with that. I'd obviously, you know, I'd prefer he walked in the centre in one way, but particularly at the moment, I think it's really good that he doesn't. Good boy. Oh, lots of enthusiasm drive. Sammy's trying to go very fast. At the moment, it sounds quite clear, so I'm happy with that faster pace. But when we hear people, we're going to like slow that one down a bit. Yeah, I thought it did, sorry. Good boy, straight on.
Straight on.
Not today. I know why. I now know why.
Straight. Oh, good boy. Forward. Not
Straight
today.
on.
Straight on.
Now, I think what both dogs were thinking of there, straight on, is whether they were going to do an RIGHT up towards the train station. Good boy.
Yeah, because that's another route that we do
Good lad.
to practice.
Good, right, there's shifting
good
out.
boy,
There's probably
yes,
people
he
there.
is.
Sorry.
Good boy.
In.
Fun. Good boy.
When we get to
Straight
the West
on.
Gate, the marble floor, let's STAND or SIT them there for a break off. Now, if we wanted to get to the West Gate shopping centre in normal times, we would notice that how underfoot?
Different texture surface.
And also
basically.
not just that.
Sound.
Yes, sound echoes.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's a
here we
surface,
go.
but there, what do you notice that's different?
It seems a bit more enclosed.
Yay! We can give him a good, we'll give him a break off, shall we? Come on, boys, yes, good. Yay! It's important to get a moment to be dogs.
Sammy.
Yay! Can we just discuss that shake?
Yes.
Okay, that shake is just meaning that Marty's got so much energy there, he's worked so hard, and he wants to be told he's good. Yay!
He's been a good boy. He's been a
He
good
feels
boy.
like he's got mud on his nose. There.
He's got mud on your nose. What have you been doing?
Right, yeah, Sammy.
Good
Sammy!
boy.
This is an
So
example of how
good.
important dog welfare is to us, right?
Really, really important. The health and welfare of my dog is my first priority.
If my dog was stressed, anxious or unhappy or any of that stuff, I'd be devastated.
Yeah.
And you know, again, I don't know anyone in the United States, so I know people around the world in this, by the way, so it's no good saying it's just people in the UK. I don't know anybody who's not playing with their dogs and making sure they have fuss and fun.
Yeah.
Sammy, in fairness, is coming to work with me because I'm still working. Good boy.
But not just outside, you know, using the dogs and working and free time and fun, but indoors as well. We make sure that they have lots of toys and they can interact with, you know, interactive toys and puzzles and snuffle mats to kind of really get their mind focused. So it's many different ways that you could do it.
I'm turning around, by the way.
Ooh.
So we're going forward.
Forward. Come on, let's go.
Oh, sorry. Actually, I was slightly off there.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Good boy.
Also, there's a ramp down.
Now, what do you want to do? Should we stick along the right-hand side here because of the various works that they keep having on the left,
true.
yeah?
Okay.
Right.
Good
Good
lad.
boy.
Straight on. And off he goes.
Straight on.
Straight on.
Up. Good boy.
Good boy. Straight on.
Good lad. Sorry.
No, Martin. Straight. Good boy. We're straight.
The
Good lad.
general volume of town has been worse actually, so I'm not complaining.
Good boy. It's a little bit slow. Good boy.
But I find, do you think, you know, in terms of social distancing, that is the only one request I have. Look, we're nobody's victims, we're quite happy. But the only request we have is it's better if you can, if you see people with guide dogs.
All on canes, white sticks.
Can you try and take responsibility for the 2 metre thing? Because we actually can't, particularly with a guide dog.
Good boy.
Good boy. Do you know what I just did there and why?
Why?
So we were there, somebody was coughing up and spluttering. It didn't sound like they had their hand over.
Ew.
So I said hop up, which means speed up. And I must admit, that's definitely COVID paranoia potentially.
Oh yeah.
Because that, I mean, if they're going to do that, they're probably a dirty sod anyway, aren't they?
I mean, who would cough
Just
around
put your hand
someone?
around you.
Yeah, exactly. Especially what was going on. People are going to be a bit more worried and paranoid.
So are we going to do a right here and follow around by, this is important, we do this when we're on our own, but we're just talking over the route we're going to take. Because we could do a left and move around by Costa Coffee. But if the alternative, which one I think we should do, is throw a right and then follow along the sides. Does that sound good?
Yeah, Martin, sit.
Okay, wait.
Let me get my dog in position.
Me too. Good boy.
Let me know when you're ready, so I can do
Okay,
that.
back.
Wait.
3, 2, right.
Right.
Yay!
Good
Sammy's got the hump with
boy.
me. He said he wanted to go straight.
Fun away. Good,
Good
boy.
boy.
Straight
Fun
on.
away.
Good lad. That's
Yay.
Good
Happy, happy.
boy.
Yay!
Good boy.
Sammy's wagging his tail. I imagine
Straight
Marty is
on.
too.
Very
Good
good
boy.
boy. Good lad.
Because for them,
Straight
it's a
on.
game. This.
Martin. Straight.
Up,
good
up,
boy.
up.
We're straight. Good boy.
Good boy. Hop up.
Run away. Good boy. Martin.
Straight on.
Good boy.
Every so often we have to have aftercare, don't we, where guide dogs mobility instructors come out and check that the work's safe.
Yep.
What do you reckon with all these cameras, 2 cameras?
I think we could
Come
do
on, we're
each
doing their
other.
job for them. A guide dogs mobility specialist, sorry, GDMS in the UK. Straight on.
Darling.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good boy. Right, where are you?
Hop up. I'm over here, but don't worry, keep coming.
Forward.
Straight on, we're going to go to the edge and then work out a plan. Not today, straight on.
Martin's already moved over.
That's all right.
Come
Understandable. Steady. Stand. Do you know what they want to do?
Martin, find the way.
We'll hang here.
Find the
Shall
way.
we? We'll hang here.
Yep.
We're pretty much here.
Sit.
I
what
don't.
you say.
Well, I was going to say I think we should wrap it here because we don't need to film you going to the shop.
No.
I don't think they'd love that very much. So do you want to debrief that before we wrap up?
Yeah, just a quick one to say I think it went really well, and the biggest thing for me is the communication. So we're both communicating what we're doing, each point of the route and why. And yeah, the dogs worked fantastically, and Martin and Sammy were both enthusiastic.
I
just think
thought it was
a
good
route.
because it's practice for routes when we're walking along here. It's really good for us. Obviously, we've done our best with social distancing, but we can't obviously control what others do. But in terms of town, you kind of have to. You're in an open space. It's quite unlikely you're going to have too much of an issue. But so the piece in the Guardian that mentioned social distancing, that's right. We can only do our best, but if you walk within 2 metres of us, we can't help it. We are about to go into the shop. There is no reason for people to walk within 2 metres of us. And that's the only small request I make. When we mentioned that during the first lockdown, people said, oh, well, if you're not happy with it, why don't you stay at home then? And see, the problem is, when there's so much worry about new variants, you've got to be slightly mindful of it, because there will be people who are blind and low vision who are staying at home, because when we head out, people aren't necessarily keeping 2 metres. So I'm not lecturing, I'm appealing really. If you can help, that would be great. What do you think about doing more of these walks then? What do you think about doing the more of the GoPros? I guess subscribers would be the one, viewers would be the ones to feedback on that.
Yeah, let us know, guys, because I'm always keen to find different and creative ways of being a bit more interactive. And Sammy keeps nudging me, little rat. So I keep moving his head away just to kind of not encourage him to do that. But yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comments below what you think.
Coming soon, 5 questions I'd ask a guide dog if you could answer, if you could speak English. And if you've got any requests, whack them in there. Hey, can I say hello to Claire in Australia, by the way? I just thought I'd dump that one into the conversation. And oh, when you're in the shop, can you pick up some stork butter for me, please, if you could? That would be fantastic. We'll leave it there, shall we?
Like or dislike?
Subscribe. Yeah, because it helps. You know, you can comment like or dislike, and it helps your algorithm.
Bye, guys. Love you.
It's a bit much.